After visiting Hector Ayala's corpse in the morgue, Murdoch promises Alaya's niece Angela that he will bring his killer to justice. So he investigates the site where Ayala was murdered and finds a bullet casing with the Punisher's logo on it. Now, I don't know how he can tell that the bullet had a specific symbol on it, but whatever, I guess. I suppose I shouldn't get too hung up on this minute little detail, especially since it leads to one of the best scenes of the entire series so far, a confrontation between Murdoch and the Punisher himself. Yes, even though he does have a really small role to play in this episode, he definitely is the best part about it. Because, much like with the Netflix series before, the guy just has such compelling conversations with Murdoch. Conversations that remind Matthew of who he really is and what he really stands for. So, after being called out for not killing Dex and for retiring as Daredevil, Murdoch does decide to start practicing with his billy clubs again. Meanwhile, Fisk is learning how hard it is to actually be the mayor of a city. He's constantly being stopped by bureaucratic red tape, he has to go on silly public events that he clearly has no interest in, he has to deal with his stupid but loyal colleagues leaking confidential information to the press, and he has to do all of those things while still attending marriage counseling with his estranged wife Vanessa. The guy's got a hard life. But it's during these therapy sessions where we learn that Fisk would never do anything to hurt his wife, even if she did cheat on him. But don't let that fool you into believing that Fisk is actually a sweet and loving person, because the episode also showed us that he's not above imprisoning and torturing the man that Vanessa had an affair with. So, as Murdoch gets closer to becoming Daredevil again, Wilson Fisk is also getting closer to becoming Kingpin again. And it will be interesting to see when and how these two characters will give in to their darker impulses, especially since there's a masked serial killer running around who's draining the blood from his victims. Yeah, I don't know what the fuck that's all about, but I'm definitely looking forward to finding out. And I'm also looking forward to seeing Jon Bernthal's special presentation on The Punisher, because if he can make a huge impact on this episode, despite having an incredibly small amount of runtime, then I definitely want to see what he can do with his own Marvel special. So, anyone worried about the Punisher becoming Disney-fied in the MCU should not be disappointed with his depiction in this episode. I just hope that we'll see him again in future episodes of this series, since Jon Bernthal is just really good as this version of the character. But I guess we'll see what'll actually happen on the next few episodes of Daredevil Born Again once they get released on Tuesday.